This is the easiest way to ceramic coat your ride. Our 1-year spray coating. This just feels like applying a spray sealant at this point. It's so easy. Welcome to TEOS technology, tetraethyl orthosilicate. Here's the bottom line with this coating. It comes with a sprayer on it. It comes with an extra sprayer, and then it also comes with a dropper. So you can spray this coating onto a towel and wipe it in, or you can use a dropper onto an applicator old school style if you'd like. Yes, this is Nick at Night. I'm also with DIY Detail, and our new graphene spray coating has TEOS technology, tetraethyl orthosilicate. Basically what it means, the coating's not gonna fracture. You're gonna get increased water spot resistance. We have the graphene in there. Also increased salt resistance, which is great for these winter months. I'm not gonna use a polisher. I'm gonna make this so easy that this is your first time ceramic coating. You're in the right place. Listen, it is always gonna be best to wash, decontaminate, polish, panel prep or C6 adhesion promoter polish, and then ceramic coat. But I'm gonna show you a method where if you're afraid to pick up the polisher, you're still gonna get great protection. Remember, a ceramic coating is only as good as the prep. This is a great ceramic coating. It's very user-friendly. Folks, the quick highlights on this 1-year graphene spray coating, very forgiving, so you just apply it and then you come back around and level it after. Super easy wipe off. It's sprayable, it's easy. I'm not gonna polish first. I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna prep wash this, and then I'm gonna show you how to apply the graphene spray coating. The 1-year from DIY Detail. Welcome to Nick at Night. Okay, first things first, we are gonna do a prep wash the right way. That means we're gonna foam, rinse, foam. I'm gonna start with some iron remover from DIY Detail on the wheels. Why do we use iron remover? Because it's a great way to break down brake dust before the foaming. One method I love is iron remover first and then our all clean mixture, 15-to-1 DIY Detail all clean. A little bit of incredible suds in here. I feel like this IK foamer always runs out of pressure, so I just got my inflator here. It's my own little method, it works. All clean 15-to-1 on wheels. It's a great way to pre-treat our wheels before the contact wash. There are better foamers out there, but I've got this inflator. It uses DIY Detail batteries or Makita batteries. And when it gets low, I just... Of course, Nick at Night, sponsored by Thor Media. And usually I like to use all different kinds of products you can find on thehouseofrags.com. Tonight, I'm using DIY Detail products just to show you how easy it is. Our exterior wash decon ceramic coating steps are so effective, and we hear it over and over from hundreds, thousands of customers. So I'm just gonna show you that method as we prep for ceramic coating. You could prep in different ways, right? You could use all different kinds of products. We just wanna do this the right way, and I know DIY Detail products do this the right way. If I'm not gonna polish before ceramic coating, I'm gonna make sure my decontamination is spot on, my wash is spot on, and I am so comfortable with our system. I know it so well. So thehouseofrags.com, use promo code Nick at Night. We'll save you 10% on any products you see in this video. For now, we're gonna foam, rinse, foam. Incredible suds in the foam cannon. Let's get a snow foam blanket on this car. We foam first to get rid of the grit. We don't want to spray the pressure washer on the paint and drive all that dirt into the paint. No, we let the incredible suds do a lot of the work for us. It's emulsifying the grit. It's pulling it off. We're gonna pressure wash it off now, and then the contact wash after the next foaming will work on the traffic film that's left over. Just a little bit of incredible suds in my wash bucket. You do not really need much at all. And we're gonna use the perfectly safe brush. Easy, fun, and fast. Always fun if you get a little bit of a foam volcano going. No pressure at all on the perfectly safe brush. Such a soft brush, by the way. And you just dunk after every panel. Again, you can get the perfectly safe brush at thehouseofrags.com. Use promo code Nick at Night. I may do a lower, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna dunk back in because we've foamed and we've rinsed and we've foamed again. We have done so much to make this contact wash safe that I'm not really worried about hitting a lower panel. Plus I know this is a pretty well-maintained car. We just want to safely wash this. Prep is everything. We're not gonna polish. So we don't want to introduce any scratches here. Not to worry, perfectly safe brush. It's just a phenomenal way to quickly, safely, and effectively wash your ride. With the perfectly safe brush, unlike rinseless wash, you want the bristles of this brush sopping wet. So when you go to paint, unlike the Legacy sponge where it's on the verge of dripping, no, you want it really dripping, you want it really sudsy out of that bucket. One panel, dunk it. One panel, dunk it, back and forth, continuing that process for safe, effective washing. Now I'm a big fan of avoiding using a wheel bucket and a wash bucket because I have to get all of my water from my kitchen in the winter time and then run it through my cordless pressure washer. So I like to finish my wash and then turn my wash bucket into a wheel bucket. That's why I'm not gonna do wheels just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and decontaminate the paint now because I have incredible suds on the paint as my bed of lubrication. And then when that's done, I'll do my wash bucket as a wheel bucket. I'll put my wheel and body brush in there, and that will be my wheel bucket. I wanna save as much water as I can. I gotta haul these 5-gallon buckets or 3-gallon buckets across the yard into the garage. It's a whole thing in the wintertime. But you know what? It's great to be foaming. It's great to be cleaning. No excuses, get her done. And in the spirit of no excuses, we are going to very effectively decontaminate. I have iron remover. I have my decontamination towel from DIY Detail. They were in my wash bucket. I still have lubricated paint. So it's one spray of iron remover on the panel, one spray on my decontamination towel. Ooh, I can hear the contamination there. We want to decontaminate, to pluck whatever might be on the surface, those above surface contaminants. We want to pluck them off the paint. We've got to decontaminate well if we're going to do a no polish ceramic coating job. So I just use this decontamination towel until I no longer feel or hear the scratching. And if I get a little skittish, I might do one more spray on the towel and one on the panel, and I'll flip the towel because I don't want to drive anything in even though I'm way overthinking it. Folks, every time you go to a new panel, you just flip to a new side. Decontamination towel, panel. Put the towel where you sprayed the iron remover, and then go ahead and decontaminate. Now, we're getting to a point where it's like, gosh, this almost looks wet, like it's not looking good, Nick. What are you gonna do? Well, I could foam more Incredible Suds on, or I could do one of these where I just try to start from the top and just let some suds drop. And this way, I can get more Incredible Suds on the panel. That's one thing about this brush though, if you don't have a lot of suds, it doesn't carry the suds as much as like the Incredible Wash Mitt. So, I don't know, I may wanna re-foam some Incredible Suds on this paint. We'll see. One spray on the towel, one on the panel. I do have more suds to work with. If you're ever worried about lubrication, you're like, I don't know, it kind of looks like water. We always want that bed of lubrication first. So get yourself some more Incredible Suds on the paint, however you gotta do it. If you gotta foam it on, foam it on. You might say, Nick, this old Subaru is a piece of crap. Well, it's my piece of crap. And if you take care of something, it'll take care of you. 180-some thousand miles. The struts are having issues. They might be gone. I'm just gonna ride it until the wheels fall off, you know? I love this thing and I don't wanna put another $3,000 into it, which is what I got quoted to fix the struts. So I think we're gonna manage expectations with this. It might be more of an around town vehicle, but she's been good to me. I'm gonna continue being good to her. Now, if you want to become a little bit of a ninja and break the rules, I've got DIY Detail rinseless wash in here. I don't want to foam more stuff. I'm running out of water and I'm gonna have to go back to the kitchen and foam more. I think I might have used all the Incredible Suds in the foam can anyway. Rinseless wash is an amazing clay lube. I'm just gonna rinseless wash the other side of that. We're gonna rinse this off after anyway. The compatibility of Incredible Suds and DIY Detail rinseless wash works great. This is from a previous job last week where I just dunked this 16-ounce bottle into a bucket of rinseless wash. That's what I'm doing here to keep the lubrication up without having to foam more. Foaming is a very precious and scarce resource in this garage. Well, we don't exactly have a lot of solution left. My Incredible Suds is now in here. I grabbed my wheel and body brush, and I'm not gonna do barrels today. We've come to a point with this vehicle where I know she's clean. We don't need to do barrels. Wheel faces are gonna be just fine. Look at that glass. If you want to know how to really protect your glass, I actually have a separate video. I'll put a link in the description here on Nick at Night, but I've ceramic coated the glass. I ceramic coated the glass and it is still beating like crazy. Whereas you can see different panels on this paint are beating in different ways, right? We've lost a lot of water beating on the side. So if we're gonna no polish ceramic coat this bad boy, we have to do the next step. Water spot remover, critical to do this and to do it right. So with water spot remover, I'm spraying this all over the paint, all over the glass. The heater is blowing it back in my face. I tried to turn the heater down. Not the end of the world, but I was trying to turn it down so you could hear me. We want to spray water spot remover all over the paint, all over the glass, all over the plastics. Never tried spraying water spot remover with the heater on. Not fun. So I'm spraying a little bit more water spot remover than you probably need, but in my head I'm like, dude, I'm not polishing this. So this decontamination we're about to do has got to be spot on. Now it's not just spraying on the water spot remover. That's not enough. Doing it thoroughly is one way I know that I'm doing right by this paint. Now we're gonna take a rinseless wash dampened or an Incredible Suds dampened towel. We're gonna wipe every surface in, just be very thorough. Agitation is a principle of cleaning. We're gonna really deeply get this water spot remover into the paint, the glass, the plastics. What does that do? It's actually a mineral decontamination. It's a mineral cleanse. Part of the decontamination process, and it's what I'm doing right now. Our level 1 towel is great for agitating water spot remover in. I'm just gonna take that same rinseless wash I told you about. I just wanna get my towel wet. I don't wanna use a dry towel. It's possible to be way too wet on this towel, but first I'm just gonna work on saturating, and then after that, if I have to wring it out, I'll do that. But I don't wanna put a dry towel on paint. I wanna use the lubrication, right? We're leveraging lubrication, always safety, right? Safety, safety, safety. Lubrication's great. Had I been able to dip this in a bucket, my problem would have been wringing it out. But since I don't have a bucket here, I'm just trying to get every fiber coated and then deal with a little bit extra that I might be able to wring out at the end. There's probably a way more efficient way to do this, folks. But here we go. And now that I know I've got lots of rinseless on there, I'll just make sure I wring it, and that'll kind of help spread it a little bit. And I think the first panel I'm gonna hit so I don't scratch anything, although it does feel nice and safely dampened with rinseless wash, I'm just gonna hit glass, and I'll get some water spot remover mixed in with the rinseless wash there. Even though I coated this glass recently, even coated surfaces benefit from decontamination. And because we've washed everything so thoroughly and already used the decon towel, and we know we've hit these spots, I'm actually not flipping the side of my towel. Now I'm just using it as a way to color in the lines. Every spot is getting touched. Now I might be getting to a spot where I'm needing to wring the towel out, and that's okay. We don't want to move too much product around. We want a nice, lightly damp towel in our hands to decontaminate. If you ever find the towel getting a little unruly on you, one tip is to take the four corners like this and squeeze your top finger into your thumb and just clamp it. Now those four corners can't go anywhere, and now your towel stays folded. Pretty good tip, right? No pressure on the towel whatsoever as I do this. Just enjoying all this dwell time that we're giving the water spot remover. You could do this in direct sunlight. I would just work panel by panel, but I'm in a controlled environment in the shop. And you can tell where you've wiped and where you haven't. And if you don't know what that looks like on camera, it'll be really common sense when you're here in front of the paint, in front of the glass. But we've covered every surface. We've touched every surface. If I haven't, I'll go ahead and quickly make sure I put my towel over there. Now the rinse off. Now we're almost done. Now we're ready for the fun. The decon wash is basically over. We just need to rinse it thoroughly. The only thing I'll tell you about this towel, rinse your water spot remover towel because we have that lactic acid in here. Rinse it under water and then launder it. Don't put this back in your wash bucket. It's not gonna play well. You could delaminate the legacy sponge. You could mess with the decon towel. So when you use water spot remover, rinse this under some water and then go ahead and launder this. We're almost there. So it sure looks a lot better, right? It was pretty flat there. We're seeing some water behavior there, but it sure could use a 1-year coating, and so water beading will be coming very soon to a hood near you. Yeah, some water beading there on the doors, so that looks nice. It's getting nicer, right? But we are ready to rejuvenate, to top up whatever's on the paint. We're gonna see that very soon. For now, let's get this rinsed and dried. At this point, we're not gonna use a drying aid because we're ceramic coating after this, right? But you're like, you're gonna damage the paint by drying it, and then you're not even gonna polish to get rid of the micro marring. Nick, what's the solution if I'm too afraid to polish? I wanna make this easy. Again, I had my rinseless wash diluted 256:1 in here, right? I can literally use this and you don't have to overthink it. If you don't wanna use this and you don't wanna use a drying aid, you don't have to. But I'm gonna go ahead and spritz the entire car with some rinseless wash. I'm gonna use this as my lubrication. We're gonna use panel prep after this. Don't worry, folks, if you're like, you're leaving something behind. Not to worry. This rinseless wash is a lubricant. I just wanna add a little bit of lubricant when I'm drying. Typically, we always use a drying lubricant, right? So a little bit of rinseless wash to add a little bit of lubrication. And then we'll dry. And by the way, who doesn't love the smell of DIY Detail rinseless wash in the air? The weapon of mass drying. Great way to efficiently dry large sections of your vehicle. And of course, if you like the premium microfiber you're seeing in this video, thehouseofrags.com, promo code Nick at Night. Save yourself 10%. Stock up. Get you some microfiber, get you some panel prep, get you some 1-year ceramic. Let's make spring an amazing time, a fun time, cleaning and protecting rides, learning from each other. Yeah, and just like the drying blanket, which I also love, this towel actually seems to dry better once it's primed, actually. So after a couple panels, I noticed it was picking up water better here than on the hood. It's pretty humid in the shop as well, so things stay a little moist. Not to worry. We're gonna do this first pass here. I know we're coming back with panel prep anyway and separate towels, so Mother Nature is gonna have to do a little bit of the work for us here in terms of drying this paint. Because I'm gonna come back with panel prep, I almost look at this as like a 2-stage drying. I got most of the 80% of the water done there. I'm gonna let Mother Nature dry a lot of this for me, putting some drip catchers here. Then I'm gonna blow out all the nooks and crevices with the Ego blower. And then finally, I shall come back with panel prep and do that final laborious but also very important step of getting this paint squeaky clean and ready for the 1-year ceramic coating. Okay guys, we are so close. I've already panel prepped a decent amount of this off camera. You want to saturate a level 1 towel. Level 1 first, Freebird 400 second. Panel prep goes on, right? And while it's still oily and all that crud that could still be in suspension is there, we wipe it off with a separate towel. We are not doing a 1 towel panel prep method. Again, we're doing this the right way. We're about to ceramic coat the Freebird 400 there to swoop up all that the panel prep brought into suspension. That oil slick on water look, boom, boom. Panel prep, oil slick on water, Freebird 400 takes it away. This will become tacky, this will become squeaky clean. Does this paint need polishing? Sure. Are the stakes as high with the 1-year coating? Absolutely not. This is the beauty of it. We are almost ready to coat. Because of the drip catcher, there may still be a little residual water in this mirror because it'll drip forever, but we did a good job of blowing everything out, pretty much all these seams. I'm gonna panel prep this area. I'm gonna put the drip catcher back actually, just so that, honestly, if we get more dripping, it'll get caught and maybe we can do this area last. Cause yeah, this mirror's gonna drip for a while. We don't wanna deal with it. I can already see it. A little bit of water there. So the panel prep and the water, it's not a big deal, right? It's not some crazy mixture where, oh no, these two can't go together. Yeah, I see it dripping a little bit there on me, so I'm just gonna wipe it with panel prep. And the level 1, Freebird 400. Let's get this back on here and let's do the door with the mirror last to make sure if anything does drip, it's gonna get caught by our beautiful drip catcher towel. Now, of course you could use C6 Ceramics adhesion promoter polish, right? But I kind of wanted to do this as like a, what if you don't want to pick up a polisher? What if you want to ceramic coat your ride and you're afraid of the dang polisher? You shouldn't be. There's nothing to be afraid of, but this is just, hey, no need to buy a polisher, no need to buy a bottle of C6 Ceramics adhesion promoter polish and an extra red jeweling pad, which is the way we teach it, to really promote just an amazing ceramic coating experience. You're gonna get the most of your ceramic coating if you prep it right, and C6 app is just a phenomenal way to prep before coating. But if you don't want to do all that, you just want this 1-year sprayable coating, we're gonna make sure we panel prep the right way. It might seem like overkill, it might seem like the 2 towel method, float it in suspension, while it's still oil slick on water look, wipe it down. But we're treating this like that second drying stage, guys. Boom. And boom. And when it's tacky under your hands, when it's almost sticky, that's when it's ready for coating. Can I tell you why I love C6 Ceramics Adhesion Promoter Polish? You put it on a red jeweling pad, you buzz around the car, and then you wipe it off at the end. You know where you've been, and so you don't have to redo steps. I feel like I am all over the place with panel prep. I'm wiping this panel, I'm wiping that panel. The onus is on you, if that's the right way to put this. I could be getting the word wrong. To actually be meticulous and to remember where you've been, because once you wipe, you don't remember, did I wipe that or not? You can't really tell. You can kind of feel if it's a little tacky under your towel, but it's a really good idea to be super meticulous, which has definitely never been my strong suit when you're doing panel prep. So another reason why you could absolutely use C6 Ceramics Adhesion Promoter Polish on a palm sander with the red jeweling pad, and that would be a phenomenal way to prep. If you don't want to polish, yes, technically it's a palm sander, so it's kind of a polisher, but you get a little more gloss and shine, a little bit of abrasion, a little bit more cleaning power. We are doing it the old-fashioned way with panel prep. A reminder for myself that app is actually faster. And anyways, I've panel prepped the whole vehicle here, folks. We've done the thing, and now it's time to coat. Okay guys, this coating is so forgiving, it is so easy to use, and it's $79.99. You can get 8 vehicles out of this minimum, which means you're coating your car for what, 10 bucks? That's if you're using a dropper, right? A couple of drops as you reapply. So you would start with 10 drops on your little red applicator, and that's a really easy way to apply. I'm not gonna use the dropper because I'm just gonna tell you how I like to do it. This coating is so easy to apply that you can almost just use a level 1 from DIY Detail and you're good to go. You do 10 sprays, and I don't want to spray really far away from me because it'll atomize and I'll breathe it in. We don't want that with the ceramic. So I'm gonna spray real up close. Let me bring you in so you can see this. You don't need to see my face, and I'll show you how easy it is to install this coating. Remember folks, the stakes aren't that high. It's a 1-year coating. I could apply this every month if I wanted to. That's not the idea here, but let's look. 10 sprays. I'm sure Ivan will teach you a different way. That's just the idea, right? 10 sprays. So you're gonna wipe it in. It's got the same instant bond technology. So you could either just literally wipe this panel and then go to the next panel, or, and this is kind of my favorite way to do it right now, you just seriously, boom, take your Freebird 400, level just like that, and you move on. You've got slick paint, it's done, and you just keep coating. I asked Ivan recently, I'm like, if you don't have a partner and you're ceramic coating by yourself, where do you put your leveling towel? And he's like, on my shoulder. I'm like, if the shoulder's good for Ivan, it's good for me. So 2 more sprays. I mean, it's just like, does it get any easier than this, right? You're just boom, boom. Don't forget to go under the door handle. I don't know, this just feels like applying a spray sealant at this point. It's so easy, right? I'm just boxing the corners, or I'm filling in the entire panel. I'm gonna make sure I go all the way down to here. Boom, and just like that, I have that oil slick on water. If I wanted to, so I did it the one way there, right? If I wanted to, I could just go ahead and do the entire vehicle, 2 more sprays on my towel, and I just move on to my next panel. So I could either level right away, or I could level when I'm done. I could literally go around the entire vehicle, ceramic coating it like this, boom, boom. Check that out. But I like to know where I've been. I like to be meticulous if I can, yada, yada, yada. So just like that, boom. Don't forget under the door handles. Oh, that is nice and slick. Here we go. So forgiving. High spots wipe off like butter. And just like that, it's coated. One cool thing about our 1-year coating, you can actually treat it like the 3-year coating. So if you're doing a stack with DIY Detail, you could do the 8-year coating, wait between 1 and 8 hours, and then apply the 1-year coating instead of the 3-year. So it's an easy way to stack as well. If you're gonna stack, wait a minimum of 1 hour and do a second layer of the 1 year. Boy, slick paint, love it. You can do plastics and of course, glass. Here's the thing, I'm having way too much fun using this on my towel. And once you put the dropper in, it's not like fully in, but it's kind of in, you know, like it's gonna be a little bit of work to get it off. So if I put the dropper in, then I can't spray anymore. And it's so much fun to spray a coating. It's like, most of you have probably never done this before. So why not? Of course, you can see where you've been on glass. Is there a high spot? Boom. Level so easy. And just like that, the paint's coated, the glass is coated. Not sure if I coated this plastic. I'll just go ahead and do that right there. Boom. That's coated as well. Remember, 182,000 miles, a 2017, so we're talking about 9 years old. It can still be resurrected with a low stakes, low cost coating option. Folks, it's just a lot of fun. Folks are starting to see some shine, coated, uncoated. And then for every panel, I'm just gonna give it a couple, 3 sprays. Ivan says 2. The beauty of this bottle is it was meant for you to have fun. So if you want to do 2 sprays, great. If you want to do 3 sprays, that's okay. It's about the equivalent if you use the dropper versus the sprayer. So 1 drop is the equivalent of about 1 spray. So again, 8 to 10 when you start, and then if you want to be a little redundant, you can. Did I miss a spot? Is it good? Is it all the way in? It almost like self-levels if you wipe it long enough, you know? And then the 1 towel method is you just flip, boom. I just don't want to get ceramic in my hand and my glove because I'm going to flip right there. But you could just 1 towel it just like this. And you wouldn't even really need this leveling towel because it's so forgiving it levels so dang easily. And just like that, I've done a ceramic coating. I don't have to be nervous. I remember how nervous I was when I first ceramic coated a vehicle. I don't want you to feel that way, folks. I'm gonna show you the dropper as well, but I'm gonna do a little bit more spraying because I'm enjoying it so much. Okay, so I've coated the entire side of the vehicle there. I feel like it's my moral obligation to show you how to use this out of the dropper. Another reason I'm kind of spray happy is because it comes with 2 sprayers, but it doesn't come with the applicator. And so the dropper's gonna go in, and then you're gonna need an applicator, which are sold separately. These are super inexpensive, but the whole idea is just you have towels sitting at home, you can spray this coating on. So I've taken the sprayer off. Before I'm done, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to, when I'm done with my coating, spray the rest of this back into the bottle. Put this in some panel prep or some water, or rinseless wash is fine, and then just run the sprayer through there so you get the panel prep through the sprayer. That'll clean the sprayer out so it's ready to use next time. So once that dropper's in, it's pretty dang well in, and I got my hands all full of coating. Okay, so like we do our regular coatings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 8 to 10 drops. Then go ahead, oops, squeaky clean paint, right? We did the panel prep. And there we go. I'm just gonna, wow, it is so squeaky clean. And this just feels so much more efficient. Like those 10 drops, I feel like it's really going on that paint. And I'm just gonna go a little outside the lines here, make sure I got it. Okay, now my applicator feels primed. At first it was kind of like, and this isn't even a new applicator. All right, and that's pretty much self-leveled. I can just go ahead and hit it with this towel, which does have coating on it. But yeah, just shows you, okay, how we do this. Boom. You want your Freebird 400 or the level 1 that doesn't have coating on it, right, to level the towel. Honestly, this is more efficient. Can I be totally frank with you? It's probably a more thorough and even application. I prefer the sprayer, right? You can apply this like a traditional ceramic coating and get more out of it. Do the Ivan, be efficient. Or you can YOLO it, put the sprayer on, spray into a towel, wipe it down, and be done. That's my preference. Both are super easy. We've got coated paint, slick to the touch. Couple of housekeeping items. You can wash your vehicle after 3 days. No harsh chemicals, no harsh solvents, do a rinseless wash. After 7 days, you're good to go. After 7 days, you can go ahead and wash, put some NV ceramic detail spray on here, no problem. So it is curing in those first 7 days. The other thing is, this can go in the elements after an hour. 2 more drops as I reapply. Just 2, not 10. You go ahead and ceramic coat like we teach. Circular motions are great. Boom. Don't forget plastics, headlights, tail lights, you name it, we coat it around here. Yeah, and I can just feel this so much more efficiently getting the product on the surface. Like, I was spraying so much and just a couple of drops, and there's so much coming out on my applicator, which is great. I can just coat the whole car and come back later and do my leveling. What do you guys prefer, the towel method, the applicator method? Comment down below, how would you like to apply this 1-year coating? What would you prefer to do? Okay, I'm back to the towel method because it's so much dang fun, and I don't want to use that applicator if I don't have to, because this is just so fun. I love applying the coating with the towel. I think you will too. It's a little sloppier feeling to me, but it feels like the stakes aren't as high. I just really enjoy it. Don't forget the plastics, the glass, everything on the vehicle gets coated. Couple more sprays. Of course, glass is always truth, right? You can always see where you've been on glass. Now right here is an example of what we call a high spot. right? So after you've coated the vehicle, you've come around, you just take your second towel. So if I used the level 1 to apply the coating, I'm not gonna use that, but I'll use the Freebird 400. Simple wipe. Oh, it's so smooth. It's protected, high spots are gone, and paint is coated. Now you might be like me and this is like the 18th time you've ceramic coated your ride. This is the perfect coating for that. It's fun to ceramic coat your ride once a year or whatever. Use this 1 year as a topper, use it as a standalone, use it every couple months, as long as you're not using it on wet paint. We can't use this as a drying aid. It's not gonna duplicate an NV ceramic sealant. You can think of it as NV ceramic sealant on steroids, but you want your paint to be clean, hopefully decontaminated, and definitely dry before using it. This is not a drying aid. You could coat wheels, you could coat glass, plastic, as I mentioned, pretty much anything besides tires can be coated. So just a couple more sprays on my towel. It's kind of fun to do a demo on the hood. Yeah, I mean, the dropper is gonna be so much more efficient. You kind of see the tiger striping on here though? You can see the coating is going on. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but I can definitely see like right here. Yep, see that tiger striping? So you're gonna see that oil slick on water look from even just a couple of drops. It kind of dissipates a little bit. You see that there? And then right here, you see that as well. So we're just gonna let that sit. Gonna let that sit. 2 more sprays because, you know, a hood is essentially 2 panels, right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and just wipe that in with no pressure whatsoever. Going outside the lines like we teach with ceramic coatings. I can leave that and come back, or I can just take my towel, my leveling towel of choice. Oh, it's so easy. And so coated. Let's go. How about the front windshield? I know I put the 8-year on here just a couple of weeks ago, folks. It's already coated. Guess what? That's the beauty of this method. We can use the 1 year as a topper over the 8-year. Today I might be feeling lazy. I won't even lift the wipers up because guess what? It's coated under there, but I know where it really matters, where I'm gonna be seeing visibility wise. I've got the topper right there. Now I might be tempted to do 2 more sprays on my towel, but what if I just do the old test, right? If I test my towel and it's still moving around a lot of coating, I do not want to put more product on there because I've already got a nice and saturated towel. Just like that, boom, boom. Off camera, I did do the passenger side first. So that's already feeling a lot slicker, which is awesome. Just gonna go ahead and level this. Oh, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Whew, it's just so easy and fast. That's what I love about it. You may never have done a ceramic coating, but you know how to wipe paint, right? You know how to wipe after you've washed. Nice little trick if you're too short to get to the center of your roof, just open the door. So as I move around the vehicle a second time, I'm just gonna look for those tiger stripes, a little rainbow oil slick on water, whatever you wanna call it, and just go ahead and knock it down with your leveling towel of choice. And it's that easy. Folks, you may love the efficiency of the dropper method and the applicator, but you may really love just the towel method. The towel method is a game changer. Spraying it on here is so much fun. This thing feels so full. This aluminum bottle feels like it's still up to here. And I just coated the entire vehicle. Again, I coated passenger side off camera. Get yourself an amazingly fun product. You could do it as a pro, as your entry level. You could do it for fun as often as you wanted to. You can add protection without having any real skills. You don't have to be a pro to do this well. TheHouseOfRags.com, promo code Nick at Night. Thank you for your generous attention. That's what I really care about. I certainly appreciate it. Subscribe to the House of Rags and support them because they support this podcast. Have yourself an amazing day. Coat a car this spring and have fun. Oh, and one last thing, do not spray this coating directly on paint. You don't want this thing atomizing in the air and you breathing it in. The best thing to do is just spray it on your towel like I demonstrated. Every new panel, a couple of sprays, and you're gonna have more than enough 1 year graphene ceramic spray coating to protect your ride and have fun doing it.